All right, so we're going to go through some tools and tips today. I'm only going to do 3. I'm only going to touch on 3, but there are tons and tons of resources out there. So the first thing we're going to talk about on time management or self-management is planning ahead. I cannot tell you how many times I don't plan ahead and my week zooms by and I get half of the stuff done that I should have been getting done. And with this though, first of all, this second tip right here is should have been first. Know what's on your schedule, but stay flexible, you guys. Entrepreneurship, sales is full of ebbs and flows, and especially since the majority of us are working from home now, there are a million things. If I was at my office, like I used to go to, my dogs would not come in here and have to go to the bathroom 14 times during a Zoom call. Okay, but they do now. They do now. So because they would have been in their crates, right? So just staying flexible is crucial. However, you want to pick a day each week to build that habit of planning your week ahead. So if that's Friday morning, if it's Friday afternoon, if it's Sunday night, most people who know me know I do not work on the weekends. If you send me an email and it doesn't say urgent, I need you right now, you're not going to get a reply until Monday. But on Sunday evenings, I like to do a brain dump because I've been thinking about you guys. I've been thinking about the business, of course. You can't just shut it off. So on Sunday night, I like to do a brain dump. I look at my week ahead. I include dinners for that week. Okay, so my daughter is going to go to work. I'm not going to make her favorite meal on Thursday because she works that day. So I'm going to make something she doesn't like, which is sausage and sauerkraut, because that's what my son likes. So I'll plan my days ahead and plan my dinners so that when I go to the grocery store, or whatever, I've got all that. Also, include your action items on your weekly sheet. Okay, so I have this notebook right here. You guys see this? This is an ARC notebook, one of those customizable notebooks, and I have a list. So I have one page that's my calls for the week, and I have one page that is a to-do list. And so next to my to-do list, I have action items that I need to do with that. So if I need to promote something for next week, do I need to make a graphic? Do I need to put it up on Eventbrite? Does it need to go on Meetup? What are my action steps with that particular thing? Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, so that you're not getting in the time, that we're going to talk about time blocking in a minute, but you're not getting in the time trying to prepare for what you're supposed to be doing. Try to get as much as that planned ahead as possible. Okay. The second tip here is time blocking. So I can't remember if it was Teresa or somebody at a meeting was like, Angel, you're the queen of time blocking. I am the queen. Teresa, was that you? No, it might have been Cheryl. Anyway, somebody said that. I am the queen of time blocking, you guys. So this calendar here is just a view of what I've got on my calendar. And so I use Google Calendar. I know from working with Marcia that iCalendar is similar. They have a lot of the similar things. But when you use your calendar, use it for time blocking, and you are going to block your can't moves first. Like the green are places that I specifically have to be, and I cannot move them. That means I physically have to show up somewhere. Okay, the pink ones, the green ones are evolved events. The pink ones are also where I have to be. Oh, I didn't realize I screenshotted my gyno appointment. Sorry, that's embarrassing. So anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so the red ones here are my movables. That's all my social media stuff. So in those specific things, I have exactly what I'm going to be talking about, but those can be moved. Do I have to do LinkedIn at 9:30? No, I could move that to the afternoon or whatever. But you want to make sure that you're blocking out your kids' events, things that you physically have to be at that are not. The blue is all my husband's schedule. So my husband and I share a schedule, and then dark green is our family events. So anytime there's dark green, pink, or that light green, I cannot move those. Those are places I physically have to be. Does that make sense? Now, I also use my calendar as a CRM. So a CRM is a customer relationship management program. I use several of these things, okay? But you can use your calendar as a CRM. And the way you do that is you take your calendar, and let's say I'm gonna follow up calls, okay? And I'm gonna follow up with Sierra. I'm using actual visitors because I can't think of random names. Oh, like Jane Doe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm gonna follow up with her, these people here, and then I'll save that. Okay, so those are my calls for today. And then let's say I leave a message for Sierra, so I'm going to put her on Monday because I'm gonna now follow up with an email. So F you for follow up, obviously, right? Okay, Sierra Cussy. Okay, so send email to follow up, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll actually put in here what my follow up is going to be. So I'm going to invite to the Christmas extravaganza. That's going to be my email to her. I'm going to invite her to our Christmas extravaganza, which, shameless plug, is December 3rd. Mark your calendars, 4 to 6. Okay. So you can use this to like keep your life straight. Okay. And then that would be a different color. So then I can change this to calls. Oh, I don't know where my calls calendar went, but anyways, so say that. Okay. So then I can move this around anywhere. Make sense to everyone? Any questions about that? Time blocking. Now, typically on my calendar, I will literally block out every single task I've got going on. Okay, I didn't have that calendar when I put this together. I didn't have it clicked when I put this together, and so whatever, but trust me, I do. So every time I have something going on or something I have to do, my task list is on my calendar. Okay, so that I can move those around, but I know that today I got to get my newsletter out. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a newsletter. So anyways, okay, so that's on there. The third technique, you guys, is the Pomodoro technique. Has anybody heard of this?
2 minutes.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Okay, I'm almost done. The Pomodoro technique is I don't know how long, like 1978 or something. Okay, this guy came up with the Pomodoro technique, and it is literally using your timer to keep yourself on task throughout the day. So you're going to decide on the task to be done. I use this all the time, you guys. Now, you have a timer on your phone, right? Most of us have a timer on my phone. Here's my clock. So I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to decide on what task I'm going to do. So let's say I'm going to do my newsletter. It's going to take me an hour to do my newsletter because I got to make graphics and I got to do all this stuff. And then I got to think through what I'm going to say. How vulnerable do I want to be today? That kind of thing. So I'm going to say an hour. Okay. And then I'm going to work on my task until my timer rings. Now, the Pomodoro technique is typically 25 minutes per task, but you want to be realistic on how long it's going to take you. Okay, you don't want to have to keep setting your timer every 25 minutes for a 3-hour project, but no longer than an hour is what I suggest. Take a 5-minute break when your timer goes off. Cut it off. Stop where you're at. Right? I am notorious, because I'm a perfectionist, I'm notorious for, well, I'm almost done. Well, Mom, I only have a couple more things. Well, then by the time I get a couple more things, I've gone an extra 20 minutes. You know, because there's a rabbit hole on every freaking project, right, Marcia? You feel me, don't you, girl? Okay, so every 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. And then when you're done with that project, you take a 30-minute break. 30 minutes. Now, I have right here this blow-up bed because my sister's coming to visit. Normally, it's just my office, but I will take 30 minutes and just breathe on that bed and just maybe meditate or whatever, and then I'm back up. Or I took my dogs for a walk, Jana, yesterday in the sunshine. I thought of you. And Drina too. You guys are always outside walking and hiking. So anyway, whatever that is, you take that 15-minute break, but then you come back and you set your timer. This is what I'm going to work on now. I do this with phone calls too, you guys. So I'll do, I'm going to do 15 minutes of phone calls and I'm taking a 5-minute break, or I'm getting chocolate because you've got to reward yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or, I'll use my timer for a 5-minute phone call. So let's say I want to call my mom. I got 5 minutes, Mom. I got another appointment. Okay. So whatever that break is for you, use your timer. That's the point. Now, there are resources. So there are some great blogs that I've, and you guys will get a copy of this slideshow. Am I done, Melissa? I'm out of time? Okay. So these are going to be those. There are free management applications. Use your calendar. Trello is great for project management. And also scheduling out your time. You can move the blocks and stuff. And then, of course, the timer on your phone. So for the breakout questions, we are going to talk about how do you manage yourself in this new normal? Those of you without kids, those of you with kids at home, how do you manage yourself in your new normal? Out of these tips, which would you like to start implementing? And then when will you start that? And you might not get to all these, you guys, okay? So no pressure. If you could picture the perfectly productive day, what would it look like for you? And how can we help you stay focused and manage yourself better? Okay?
Are those in the chat?
Not yet, but I am literally going to copy and paste them right now. Okay, so before we do all of that, how does everybody feel about that? Feel good?
I think it's needed in my life.
Okay. And
I loved how you talked about the CRM using the calendar, because I do colors and blocks, but I love how you did the note thing stuff. There is a task and a reminder, but I didn't know putting it right into the actual. Brilliant.
And if you put the phone number in the title of the calendar event, when it comes up on your phone, you can just click the phone number and it'll take you right to dial a call too. I've done that.
Yes. Yeah, I have done that too. Perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, you guys. So, and then you can just keep changing the date, right? You can just keep moving them around. Okay, you guys. So we are going to go out. It is in the chat. It's going to be. Okay. And then we're going to go out into our, Todoist too. Thank you. We're going to go out into our groups. We're going to have 3 to 4. No, we're going to have 3 per room. And let me just do this one thing really quick. Trying to make sure that. Okay. All right. All right, ladies. So we are going to have 20 minutes on the clock to discuss this. And then, of course, you guys, when you get into a room, if you don't know someone, introduce yourselves. And then hop into the questions, and then we're going to come back and see what your guys' kind of time management tips and tricks are. So maybe we can learn some more from each other. So I will see you ladies in 20 minutes.